So we're here to talk through this even-odd Sudoku by Rishi Puri. It has a really elegant theme. Not visually, it's got an interesting start, but the elegant theme actually comes when you try to solve it. And the thing I see right off the bat is that given this alternating patterns of odds and evens, we have some pretty large constraints in the second row, the eighth row, and actually looks, no, we've got it also in the fifth row. And so what is that constraint? That constraint is that we actually already have all the evens marked in those rows. The 2 and 8 are 2 even digits, and the remaining digits are 4 and 6 in this row, and all the remaining cells are odd. And with this 4, 6 down here, the 2 and 8 are going to be in these cells, and the remaining digits are odd. But given the alternating parity of these clues, there are 3 evens specified, which will be 2, 4, and 8. I won't write those in, but 6 is the last even. And so we get a case where all the evens are also given in that row. And that leads to what I think is the coolest part of this puzzle when I remembered solving it. I'm seeing it again, which is that in the given state of the grid, before we really do much to look at the digits, in the first column and in the last column, all the evens and odds are now also specified, that by adding in these clues, which is circles, where those are 3 odds, there are 2 more, 7 and 9, so we have 5 odds marked, which leave the remaining things to be even, and the same kind of logic over here. So how do we play out and use those facts? Well, one thing we can do is start by taking a cell like this, which is even in a box. It has 3 other even digits, and placing the 4th digit there. This 2 and these 2's leave just one option down here. We now see that this box has 2 evens to place, and the 4 is not possible in this rightmost box. So this is an 8, this is a 4. We've got to place one more even in the space, and it's going to be a 6 in one of those cells. Everything else now in this is going to be odd, and we could have actually marked that in this space. One thing you'll see happen a lot in even-odd puzzles is you eventually get to a place where you can mark most or all of the cells with their parity, and that will help you make progress through the grid. We've done a good thing in this lower right box, so let's follow it up and see that the 1 has to be in one of these cells. Working with this, that limits the left corner of the grid. Down here is a 3, 9, 4. Nothing I can mark exclusively, but one thing I see is the 7 coming down here. Puts these digits in that space, which does a few things. First, I can fill in this 5. The 7's work with the 7 over here to give that elimination. This 9 then has to be in one of these top cells, which comes over here and says a 9 is in one of these cells. And the 3 is up top. That comes back across and says a 3 is here. And again, some of this faster progress on the side is tied to actually marking in what are odd and even. I have a 1 and 5 left to place in this first column. The 1 is here and the 5 is here based on the elimination there. In this column, I now still have to place a 1, 7, and 9. The most limiting digit looks to be the 1, so the 1 up here can't be in the cell because this is an even cell, so the 1 is here. Puts a 1 here, a 9 here. This is a 7, 9 in some order. 9 has to be up top. 1 is down here. The only other digit, an even, sorry, the evens are all marked here, so this 3, 9 has to be up in the top cell. 3 comes here. 5 is in one of these cells. 7 is in one of these cells. We can probably come back to looking just at other digits. We know actually when I marked this 9, 9, I didn't do anything over here, and this is what's going to be critical, is this 9's got one choice. That now removed my 7 notes, so I have 1 spot for the 7, gives me 1 spot for the 5. The two fives work together to point towards the middle. These two fives point to the top. Last digit for an even is right here. That's going to finish out this column rather well. We've got a few things happening here. The first, I'll put in this 3 note. I'm seeing these two 9s coming up, give a large elimination. These 9s now give this cell. These two 9s give this. 3 and 4 are left behind. I've marked all but this last odd over here. Up top, these two 1s leave just this one space. So it's got to be here. I've got 4 odds marked in this box and 1 more that must be odd, so the remaining spaces are both even. This is 2 and 6 in some order, and this 2 forces the order. The 6 and the 6 come over to do this spot. This 4 is over here, 4 and 8. Coming down, 8 has 1 spot left. This is 2 and 4. That will probably clear up pretty quick, so let's just do some more work on this side. This 6 gives this 6. We still have 2, 4, and 8 to place. 8s are canceled down to just this cell. So we do have a 2, 4, 2, 4. The worst of this 2, 4, 2, 4, which is probably going to end up with a 2, 4 right here as well. So we're going to have a case where, for uniqueness, the 2, 4 can't be in this cell. But let's actually do the legitimate solve for where it goes. Got a 3, 7 pair up here. Last digit in 8 can go as here, which is now going to force this group of the 8 and 2. Puts a 2 up here, puts a 3 there. This 2 now clears this cycle very quickly. We have an 8 and 2 to still place in this space. This 4 forces a 4, 3, puts this 4 with a 6, this 6, this 7, this 7, this 3. Just check we filled all the boxes, and we have. So we finished this great puzzle. As you said at the start, you may not have noticed this. You may have very much begun with the numbers and not the even odd shapes, but the cool deduction was that all the evens look to be given in the 2nd, 5th, and 8th rows by design by the constructor, and putting in those odds here gives us the remaining evens in the 1st and 9th columns, which gives some starting points, like saying this cell here is actually a naked single of a 2 right at the start, because it must be an even digit with the 1, 3, 5 somewhere in the circled cells at that point, and 4, 6, 8 already in the box. So placements like making this 2 first are probably not your experience with this puzzle, but having done a lot of even odd Sudokus, I often look at the circle and square shapes regularly to start to see where they're most constraining, and the 2nd, 5th, and 8th rows were those spots that were most constrained in this grid. So hope you learned a little bit about how to view even odd Sudokus differently, and we'll see you again soon.